Hello everyone. Today we're going to cover Chapter 5 for the Eyelash Extension program, and Chapter 5's title is Tools, Products, and Ingredients. There are 5 learning objectives from Chapter 5. Number 1, explain why knowledge of eyelash extension tools, products, and ingredients is essential to eyelash extension technicians. Number 2, describe eyelash adhesive ingredients and how to properly use and store them. Number 3, identify the implements, tools, and equipment required for eyelash and eyebrow services. Number 4, compare the different eyelash extension options. Number 5, recognize the professional products used during an eyelash or eyebrow service. So why study tools, products, and ingredients? Using the proper tools and ingredients when performing eyelash and eyebrow services is key to providing long-lasting extensions and effective chemical services for your clients. You will need to learn the different types of adhesives, single and multi-use tools and implements, eyelash extension options, and chemical service ingredients. This knowledge will help you make the best choices when it comes to application, infection control, consultation, and lash retention. In other words, all key areas of eyelash and eyebrow services. Eyelash technicians should study and have a thorough understanding of eyelash extension tools, products, and ingredients because eyelash extension adhesives are affected by both humidity and temperature in ways that directly impact lash retention. Some tools and implements used in eyelash and eyebrow services can be disinfected and reused, whereas others cannot. There are many different extension types and options to choose among to meet client needs and budgets. Using products correctly and safely comes from recognizing their ingredients and effect they have on the lashes and skin around them. So let's break down eyelash adhesive. This is objective number 2. So eyelash extensions are applied to the natural lash using eyelash extension adhesive. The typical shelf life of adhesive is 4 to 5 weeks. Once it is open, it is good until it starts to look stringy or cloudy. Always be sure to check the manufacturer's recommendations as different brands suggest different storage areas based on temperature. It's also important to shake the eyelash adhesive before dispensing so that you properly mix all ingredients. Eyelash extension adhesive is mainly comprised of cyanoacrylate along with stabilizing agents, coloring agents, thickeners, and other compounds such as latex. On the screen you do see a list of cyanoacrylates that most eyelash extension adhesive is made from. And so what cyanoacrylate is, you do need to jot this down. Cyanoacrylate is the most common, it is the main component of eyelash extension adhesive. It is also an acrylic monomer that is cured and used as an adhesive. Although there are several types of cyanoacrylates, only some are used for eyelash extension adhesives. They vary by their adhesion qualities and by level of fumes they give off while curing. Out of the family of cyanoacrylates, there are mainly 2 that we use on eyelash extensions. But let's talk about them all. So the first one, methyl cyanoacrylate. That is considered to be industrial grade and should never be used for eyelash extension adhesives as it can cause permanent blindness. Ethyl cyanoacrylate is considered medical grade and is used for most eyelash extension adhesives because of its strong adhesion. So ethyl cyanoacrylate may be a component of your eyelash adhesives. Then there's butyl cyanoacrylate. This one's also considered medical grade and is used for sensitive eyelash extension adhesives. Although it has a longer drying time and the adhesion is not as strong as ethyl cyanoacrylate, it is considered to be low odor. And lastly, we have the methoxycyanoacrylate. That one's also considered medical grade, but should not be used for eyelash extensions because although it has the least odor, the adhesive or adhesion quality is too low for good retention for your eyelash extensions. So, as a rule of thumb, just make sure that you always read the ingredients on your adhesive, so make sure that you're using the best suited for eyelash extensions. And again, that would be your ethyl cyanoacrylate or either your butyl cyanoacrylate. So let's talk about other ingredients. First, I want to say that you should always use caution and be prepared to use the emergency eye flush station should the adhesive contact the eye. The eye flush procedure consists of holding the lids of the affected eye open and placing the eye head down and turned to the side under gentle running water from a faucet. Eye wash stations or eye wash kit for approximately 5 minutes. If irritation does not resolve, you want to make sure that you recommend or seek medical attention. Other ingredients in your eyelash extension adhesive will include formaldehyde, which is a colorless gas with a strong odor, and it is a byproduct of the curing of cyanoacrylates. Fumes will be given off by any lash adhesive containing cyanoacrylates, even if in just trace amounts. Then we have polymethyl methacrylate, or what we call PMMA. It is used as a thickening agent. It is a synthetic resin produced from the polymerization of methyl methacrylate. It assists in the adhesion of the extensions to the natural lash. Hydroquinone. Hydroquinone is used as a stabilizing agent, keeping the cyanoacrylate from curing in the bottle by stopping the polymerization process. Although it makes up a very small percentage of adhesives, hydroquinone can cause skin irritation and skin discoloration. Lastly, we have black carbon. Black carbon is a dark black powder used as a pigment and is also used as a coloring agent. The FDA, so the Food and Drug Administration, has found that this ingredient should not be used in the eye area. However, it is still used in many cosmetics such as mascaras, eyeliners. Black carbon has also been linked to increased incidence of cancer and negative effects on body organs. There are clear eyelash extension adhesives that do not contain carbon black as an alternative for clients with sensitivities or those who do not wish to be exposed to it. I'd like to also give you another caution. Cyanoacrylate allergic reaction can be difficult to distinguish from general irritation and can occur even if the skin doesn't come in contact with the adhesive. So next, let's talk about drying versus curing. To ensure proper application, the adhesives must be completely dried and cured. Drying occurs quickly when the ingredients toward the outside of the eyelash adhesive evaporates into the air. As the adhesive hardens, this allows the technician to continue lashing without lashes clumping or sticking together. To allow for maximum dry time between lashes, it's recommended to work on the eyes alternatively and apply eyelash extensions to different parts of the lash line. A mini fan is a great way to assist the drying time. Curing occurs when the adhesive completely dries in the center by taking in moisture in the air. Through the chemical process of polymerization, the cyanoacrylate monomers form bonds with water, which acts as the catalyst to create long molecular chains. This turns the liquid adhesive into solids that binds the eyelash extensions with the natural lash. Curing takes longer than the drying, typically a full day to do so, so keep that in mind. And also, lash technicians should be reminded to not allow their lashes to get wet until the curing process is complete. Tools to assist the curing process are nanomisters and nebulizers, which are used to mist applied extensions. Humidity and temperature. Humidity and temperature are important factors in the drying time of lash extensions and can affect retention. Humidity, the amount of moisture present in the air, affects the how quickly the cyanoacrylate in the adhesive cures, whereas temperatures affect the viscosity, therefore drying time of the adhesive. For high humidity, you might want to jot this down in your notes. If it's a high humidity environment, cyanoacrylates in the adhesive cures too quickly from high amounts of moisture in the air. So that can cause the adhesive used during the service to dry before application, creating a weak bond with the natural lash and the extension and resulting in poor retention. So be mindful of working in high humidity environments. In terms of low humidity, cyanoacrylate and adhesive cures too slowly or not at all from not being able to draw enough moisture from the surrounding air. This can cause applied eyelash extensions to stick to other lashes and clump, which in turn can cause damage to the client's natural lashes as well as create an increased chance of sensitivity from the fumes. A quick fix to low humidity when applying extensions is to use a nano mister or nebulizer to cure the adhesive. In terms of high temperatures and low temperatures, for high temperatures, the adhesive becomes too thin and the drying time lessens. Higher temperatures can also cause issues with the adhesive drop for application to dry too quickly and result in poor retention. If you're working in a lower temperature setting, the adhesive can become too thick and the drying time can lengthen. This can cause issues with applied extensions sticking together or sticking to other lashes and clumping. In order to ensure an ideal humidity level in the salon, here are a few things that you can use or do. You can get a hygrometer, which is a tool to measure the humidity in the air. You can also get a dehumidifier, which will reduce and maintain humidity levels in your work area. Or you can get a humidifier, which is a device that will increase and maintain humidity levels. So I recommend looking into these three. I also recommend starting with a hygrometer in your work area so that you can decide and figure out the temperature and the humidity levels. And you also need to take your current adhesive that you're working with and ensure that it works in the moisture and temperature levels that you're working in. The ideal humidity levels of the area you are working in should be between 40 and 60%, and the temperature should stay at a moderate 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Clients should also avoid hot and humid temperatures outside and inside buildings within the first 24 hours of having their eyelash extensions applied. So let's discuss storage. Your adhesive should be stored upright in a dark, cool place. Manufacturers may recommend putting your lash adhesive in a refrigerator before opening, but once open, it is not recommended to store the adhesive in a fridge as it causes the chemicals in the glue to clump inside the bottle. A bottle of adhesive should be replaced after 4 to 5 weeks, but always follow the manufacturer's suggested shelf life. If the adhesive is starting to look cloudy or stringy, it is best to toss it out and open a new bottle. So always check the manufacturer's storage requirements for chemical products, including your adhesives. Temporary eyelash adhesives are used for temporary eyelashes, such as strip or cluster lashes. They do require a latex-based adhesive to adhere to the natural lash line. Some clients may be allergic to latex in this type of glue. When in doubt, always do an allergy patch test by putting a drop of adhesive behind the ear or in the crook of an elbow or behind the knee. Alternatively, attach a single individual eyelash extension to the base of the eyelash line and be sure not to attach it to the skin. If there is no reaction within 24 hours, you may be able to proceed with your application. Latex-free adhesives are available if needed. Also, as a caution, never apply temporary strips, clusters, or individual lashes with eyelash extension adhesive. Temporary lashes are meant to be removed after hours of wear, not weeks. Objective 3, implements, tools, and equipment. So implements are tools you use to perform eyelash extension services as well as eyelash and brow chemical services. There are two types of implements used by technicians: multi-use, which can be properly cleaned and disinfected and reused for the life of the tool, and single-use, which are disposable and discarded after one use. Multi-use implements, also known as reusable implements, must be properly cleansed and disinfected after each use. They are often made of metal You can you should ideally have several clean and disinfected copies of tools available at all times. Tweezers are designed to assist in every step of the lash service, from isolating natural lashes to creating volume lash fans. The two most common materials used to make tweezers are stainless steel and titanium. Stainless steel tweezers are more resistant to rust, although rust can still happen if tweezers are not properly cared for. Steel tweezers can contain a small amount of nickel as well. It's rare, but nickel can cause an adverse reaction in some people. Titanium tweezers, on the other hand, are much more lighter in weight and are totally rust free. They are allergy free and commonly used in the medical field. There are a few types of tweezers that you will use for eyelash extensions. The first type of tweezer is a boot tweezer. I like to call this a 90-degree tweezer, or you can also call it your L-shaped tweezer. So this particular tweezer has a sharp angle curve tip, and it's mainly used for volume and mega volume lashing. Due to its angle tip, it works well when creating and picking up lash fans. Then you have a curved tweezer. Curved tweezers has a gentle curved tip and is typically used for isolation as well as precision placement of lash extensions. The curve can allow for easier isolation closer to the client's eyelid. Be very careful when using curved tweezers when isolating natural lashes since the tips are pointed down and can poke the eye area. Straight tweezers are long and narrow, ending in a tapered point, and are ideal for picking up and placing lash extensions. They can also be used for isolation. There are several types that fall within this category. Slant tweezers are typically used for eyebrow shaping. However, they can also be used for applying temporary strip or cluster lashes. The tip is blunt but has a slight slant for ideal gripping and holding. And lastly, round tweezers. Round tweezers have rounded tips that make it ideal for safely removing tape and iPads after a service is complete. Typically, the tweezers you isolate with go into your non-dominant hand, and the tweezers you pick up and place eyelash extensions with go in your dominant hand. This is just a guide so that you can practice to see which way works best for you and what's most accurate and comfortable for you. Other most high use tools that we will use in eyelash extensions are eyelash separation tool and trimming scissors. So you may use these for your eyebrow services, lash lift services, brow lamination services. So the eye separation tool is used during eyelash perming or lash lifting, and it's usually made of stainless steel. And the tip is sharply angled. It's a sharply angled pick, and it's used to straighten and separate lashes after they have been adhered to the lash lift shields or rods. Trimming scissors are used to trim eye pads if needed, are used to cut material tape or medical tape to place over the lower lashes, and can also be used on open product packaging easily. Lash tiles or lash palettes are made of glass or crystal or acrylic and is used to help you organize strips of lash extensions. Sometimes palettes have and lines and lash extension sizes etched into them already, whereas others you can write on yourself. Another feature of some lash tiles are small wells used for the adhesive. Jade stones are also used in eyelash extensions or eyelash services. It may be made of a jade stone or a crystal, and it serves as a tool to hold your adhesives. It keeps the adhesive cool and prevents it from drying out too quickly. It can also be used to hold eyelash primers and adhesive removers. For infection control purposes and easy cleanup, layer 2 strips of medical tape or use a jade stone sticker on top of the jade stone or crystal before applying your adhesive. This is because jade stones are porous. They are absorbent, so that would make them um, an ideal candidate for cross-contamination. So if you're going to use jade stones, always put your tape down first and then put your adhesive on top of the tape like you see in the picture here. Nano misters, so also mini fans or nebulizers, they all fall in the same category, and so Basically, they can be used to dry lashes after cleansing them and rinsing them. And then your nano misters are used to mist water onto the eye and eyelash extensions to cure your adhesives. Be mindful when you're using your nano misters after you apply your eyelash extensions. You don't want to hold it too close because the nano mister is going to mist distilled water or whatever water you put in that mister. And if you hold it too close to the eye, the water will crystallize on the lash extensions and you won't be able to remove it, and your client will be dissatisfied because their eyelash extensions are going to look like they have white crystals on them. Obviously, mirrors are great and used to help your clients um, check out their lashes, but as a lash tech, you may use a mirror to help you look for stickies or to ensure that there are no gaps during your eyelash extension service. Okay. Um, then we have lifting shields, which are silicone lifting shields, and they are adhered to the eyelid using lash lift adhesive. And then the eyelashes are adhered to the shield or rod. So you use your lifting shield for lash lifts, as you can see in the picture demonstration that they have here for us. And your shields will come in different sizes, lengths as well, so it's important to select the correct size. Most of the client's lashes should reach at least half to the halfway point of the shield. Most lashes will reach the top of the shield, creating too much curl or even crimp the lashes. So just be mindful of using the proper size. And if the size is too large, there won't be enough curvature in the lash. So um, we will discuss lash lifting in more detail in our in-person classes. Now we have our single-use implements. So here are a list of our different single-use implements. Nitrile gloves, client headbands, eye pads, medical tape, mascara wands, or mascara brushes, sometimes we call them spoolies, micro swabs, lint-free applicators. All of these are single-use implements, so we're going to use them on one time and one time only. Other single-use implements are interdental brushes. Sometimes we use those for brow laminations, your glue rings, and your Y combs. Your Y combs help to comb the lashes and separate the lashes for your lash perms or your lash lifts. These are also single-use implements. Glue rings you can throw away. Your Y combs, you need to make sure that you clean and disinfect after each client. In terms of our equipment, a hydraulic table is often used, your technician chair, your lash cart or your trolley, your adjustable light or magnifying light glasses, an autoclave, and your trash containers are all parts of your equipment. So you must have these items in your area to properly perform lash and brow services. All right, so objective number 4, lash extensions. In this section, we'll cover the different types of eyelash extensions available. Because eyelash extension services will always be customized based on your client's natural lashes and their desired look, it's important to know the relative benefits of each eyelash extension type. Eyelash extensions are available and made in a variety of materials, from classic mink to modern synthetic. All of these extension types have their pros and cons to consider during client consultation. For mink lashes are controversial because they come from a live animal and, as such, are not produced as commonly as they used to be. These lashes come from a mink's tail, typically a Siberian or Chinese mink. Mink lashes are hollow inside, making them very light, very soft, and extremely natural looking. Real mink extensions last much longer because of how light they are, allowing several to be applied per lash. Mink lashes are often referred to as luxury lashes. Typically, a mink full set will cost anywhere between $300 and $500. The lashes don't come curled, so they must be permed or curled with heat. If you choose to curl with heat instead of perm, the client will keep curling them at home because they will lose their curl whenever they get wet. Mink lashes generally come in a more matte or satin finish, and they are prone to causing reactions and allergies because they come from live animals. Then there's faux mink lashes. Faux mink lashes are man-made fibers that imitate mink lashes. Sorry. There are no animals used in their production, but they retain the light weight of mink fur. Unlike mink, faux mink lashes have a permanent curl and come in a variety of lengths, diameters, and curls. Silk lashes are typically synthetic silk fiber and not actually natural silkworm silk. Technology is always advancing, so manufacturers are now creating silk lashes that are finer and more natural looking than ever before. They are comparable to mink lashes without the allergy risk. Silk lashes typically have a more natural look, but because they come in different diameters, you can get a somewhat more dramatic appearance by selecting a thicker lash. Silk lashes hold their curl, even if the curl is not generally as uniform as synthetic lashes. These lashes are shinier but vary brand to brand. Silk lashes are very versatile and come in different colors, finishes, curls, and lengths. And then last we have synthetic lashes. Synthetic lash extensions are widely used and are the most common type of lashes. Synthetic does not necessarily mean low quality. It just means that they are made from polished acrylic material, which makes them firmer and sturdier. Synthetic lashes have a glossy finish and are shinier than mink and silk lashes. These lashes are darker and thicker because of their tapered design. They come in a wide variety of thicknesses, curls, and color. Synthetic lashes at a thicker diameter will give you the most dramatic effect. However, they feel stiffer and fall out quicker than other lash types. Long-term use of synthetic lashes can also cause damage to the natural lash. Here is an eyelash extension curl chart, and as you can see, these are the different you can see that eyelash extensions range in a variety from straight to very curved. The different curl styles allow each technician to customize lash mapping and lash map designs based on the eye shape as well as the desired look. For example, if you have a client with straight lashes, J and B curls will work to create a natural lift. C and D curls create more open-eyed and dramatic looks. L curls have a flat base that can be applied to monolid, and hooded lids to create lift. Eyelash extensions also vary in width from 0.05, even maybe as low as 0.03, all the way to 0.25 millimeters. Select extensions that are the same diameter as the client's natural lash. If the client wants a more dramatic look, only choose extensions that are slightly thicker. Eyelash extension lengths range from 5 millimeters to 18 millimeters or longer. The longer the extension, the more dramatic the look. When choosing length, do not go beyond 2 to 3 millimeters longer than the client's natural lash. And as a caution, be aware that as the width and length of the extension increases, so does the weight of the lash. The client's natural lash needs to be able to support the weight of the extensions used. This is especially important to keep in mind while creating volume lashes. Objective 5, Service Products and Ingredients. Spend time familiarizing yourself with each professional product used during eyelash and eyebrow services, what chemicals they contain, and what they do. You must also know how to properly store these products and remove them from their containers in a hygienic manner. As a caution, check with your state board if lash lifts, tints, and brow laminations can be performed under your license, as it varies from state to state. Eyelash cleanser is one of the most important things and one of the most important steps in eyelash extension services, and aftercare is cleaning the eyelashes of dirt, oil, makeup, and debris. Eyelash cleanser is specially formulated to cleanse without affecting the eyelash extension adhesive. A quality cleanser will not leave residue on the eyelashes. It is not like a regular facial cleanser or makeup remover, which could either strip lashes of too much moisture or leave a film. Either of these will compromise lash retention and therefore client satisfaction. So, when selecting an eyelash cleanser, avoid those that have oil, glycol, sulfates or surfactants, parabens, triclosans, and salts. So be very wary of homemade lash cleanser formulas, as most contain baby shampoos, which is not advised for the eye area. Next, we have primers. So, application of eyelash extension primer is an optional step when performing eyelash extension services. Eyelash extension primer is made from three key ingredients: acetone, polyethanol, and water. So basically, polyethanol is actually alcohol, so it's acetone, alcohol, and water that are in primers. And it's designed to remove any oils present on the natural lashes, which help to optimize adhesive of the eyelash extensions and ultimately help with retention. Adhesive remover is another ingredient or product that you will use in your services. Adhesive remover is required to safely remove eyelash extensions. Eyelash extension adhesive remover is formulated to break down the bonds of the adhesive so that the eyelash extensions break free from the natural lash. Adhesive removers come in cream and gel formulas that are designed to sit on the lashes without getting into the eye. After the adhesive remover has been allowed to process according to the manufacturer's guidelines, extensions should be able to be swiped off. Be careful that adhesive remover never enters the client's eye. In terms of lifting and lamination products, we do have lash lifting adhesive, which is considered to be a perm, and you want to just make sure that you are very careful with using adhesive. It is easily dissolved by using water. And then as far as your lifting solution is used in the lifting services and also for eyebrow lamination services, and they are found in those accompanying kits. Thioglycolic acid, polyacrylamide, propylene glycol methylparaben, purified water, and monoethanolamide are some of the ingredients included in lifting solutions. As the solution process, it breaks down the bonds of the hairs. In the case of eyelash lifting, it allows lashes to form to the shield of the rod. For eyebrows, it allows the hairs to relax into the shape that they were brushed. Make sure that you always follow the manufacturer's instructions when using your lifting solutions. Next, we have our neutralizing solutions, and they're used in eyelash lifting services and eyebrow lamination services and found in their kits. Sodium bromate, polyacrylamide, polysorbate, purified water, propylene glycol, and methylparaben are also ingredients in the neutralizing solution. As the solution processes, it reforms the bonds of the hairs. In eyelash lifting, it sets the lashes into shape on the shield or the rods, and in brow lamination services, the hair reforms into the shape that they are brushed. As with lifting solution, always be sure to follow your manufacturer's instructions and the processing time and the removal methods that's recommended to avoid any damage to the lashes or eyebrows. Also, here's a tip. When applying lifting and neutralizing solutions to the eyelashes, apply only to the middle section of the lashes and never to the tip or the base. By following this guideline, you'll avoid both overprocessing the tips and also avoid getting the solution into the eyes. Post-treatment lotion is an optional product used in eyelash lifting services and eyebrow lamination services and found in their accompanying kits. It is used to nourish lash and brow hairs. Follow the manufacturer's directions on processing and timing as well as removal. This lotion is applied using micro swabs or lint-free applicators. Lastly, we have eyelash and brow tints. Eyelash and brow tints are found in their respective kits, and they are used to darken the eyelashes or eyebrow hairs. Should you need to replace only the developer instead of the entire kit, be sure to replace with the appropriate percentage of developer. Most of the time, the developer for these kits are about 3 to 5%. Check with your manufacturer on the proper developer percentage. Also, just check all ingredients. Some tints contain synthetic coal tar, which is the main ingredient in eyelash perming or eyelash tinting formula, and a chemical that's chosen because it can be washed without running. PPD is a chemical also found in temporary tattoos, printing ink, and some gases. PPD requires oxygen to activate, so hydrogen peroxide is added during processing. When the two mix, the solution begins to oxidize. If at any time during the service the client complains of irritating, itching, or burning sensations, the tint must be removed immediately. Flushing the eyes with cold or tepid water is recommended, and then severe reactions can appear as red, swollen, or sometimes blistered skin. That is all of chapter 5. These are the 5 learning objectives. So we covered explain why knowledge of eyelash extension tools, products, and ingredients is essential to eyelash extension technicians. Describe the eyelash adhesive ingredients and how to properly use and store them. Identify the implements, tools, and equipment required for eyelash and eyebrow services. Compare the different eyelash extension options. And lastly, recognize the professional products used during an eyelash or eyebrow service. We hope that this helps, and if you have questions, feel free to leave us a comment below. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.